The views expressed on this program are those of the producers and individuals appearing on this program and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Sun Prairie Media Center staff, its video service providers, or the staff and elected officials of the City of Sun Prairie.
Hello and welcome to Real Reviews. You saw it on the screen. My name is Jameson Rabbit, and this week I've got a special guest. You know him, you love him, I tolerate him. His name is Jeff Robbins. Hi, sir.
Hello, viewing public. I've decided to just stare at the camera.
The Jeff Robbins robot has been activated.
Can I make an announcement? Do we have time for that?
Please do.
A group of friends and myself have gotten together, and we are successfully buying Friendster.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so I'm excited about that.
I like that. Look out for that, kids. Yeah, wow, I hope I can get back on there.
Sure.
I was booted off several years ago.
Well, I saw the posts. Not surprised.
All right, sir. We're here to talk about some movies. People
sure,
are here
let's
to
get
listen
to
to movies. We're here to talk about them. So I'm going to get us started with what we have on the marquee this week. First up, we have the newest film from director Robert Eggers. It is called The Northman. Now, at the beginning of the year, I did my most anticipated list. The Northman, I believe, landed at number 4 on my most anticipated movies. Did it live up to it?
Out of 4? How many movies are on that list?
Out of 10.
Out of 10, okay.
Yeah.
So right there.
Anyways, this is a film. It's a Viking epic tale, a film about a boy who witnesses his father's murder at the hands of his uncle who wants the throne that his father was sitting on. The young boy, Amieth, runs off and learns to become a man, stoking the fire of hatred in his heart and fueling his lust for revenge. And his sole focus is to accomplish 3 things: save his mother, kill his uncle, and avenge his father. And he's very patient about it. Now, as he grows up, becomes a man. Amieth is played by Alexander Skarsgard. He's patient about his revenge. He doesn't rush it. He's had visions. He's been given prophecies about how it must happen. He also pairs up with a shamanist named Olga, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, who kind of gives him some humanity, offers him some wisdom and some heart. But it's a revenge tale, basically, cut and dried. His mother is played by Nicole Kidman. She is the queen. His uncle, Fjolnir, the man who is the object of the revenge, played by Claes Bang. It's a big budget Viking epic tale from Robert Eggers. And Robert Eggers is a filmmaker who I love. He kind of really excels at building moods and this slow, foreboding atmosphere. And this one is a lot more of a large, more simplistic tale than he's told in the past with things like Lighthouse and The Witch. But he had a huge budget to work with on this and a big cast and things like that. And this film really feels a lot like an Eggers film. Alexander Skarsgard, though. Let's talk about him real quick.
Oh, I mean, you want me to get involved in this conversation?
Talk with me. Alexander Skarsgard, who's the star of this film.
Sure, I saw it. This is one of the ones I watched.
You did watch this one. He's the height of testosterone in this film. The movie opens with a scene showing how the Vikings kind of channel their animalistic side and these Norse warriors, how they had a bloodlust.
They're just screaming.
Yeah.
And like crawling around in the mud.
And
they got like fox hats on.
Yeah, they're barking.
Yeah. Barking.
We see.
That's how I get myself fired up in the morning.
That's how I saw you before the show.
Yeah.
You were down on all fours, just getting after it.
For the program.
I'm curious with the Northman here. You said you saw it.
Yeah, I went to it.
Did you enjoy this? Did you have a good time with the Northman?
I think The Northman, Mr. Rabbit, is one of those films that I watched and I appreciated the filmmaking. I thought it was a beautiful film to look at. You saw some of that there in the trailer there. I believe filmed in, Northern Ireland, possibly?
Possibly.
Croatia?
I doubt it.
Minneapolis?
No. Yeah.
So it was a beautiful movie to look at. Very impressive. Panoramic scenes, panoramic vistas. Really good sound mix. I was impressed. I don't know if it was just the theater I was at or what, but the sound was really good.
Mm-hmm. I agree.
I was like looking around like, ooh, Is that somebody behind me? No, but it was. But I did not enjoy the movie.
No.
No, I did not enjoy the movie. I found it very ponderous. I found it very pretentious. I found, really from the opening shot of this film is a volcano erupting, and we find out later that it's the volcano that is sort of the setting for the gates of hell.
Right. Yes.
And there's like a ponderous kind of narration. And I knew like from the opening shot that this was not going to be a movie that I was really going to get into.
Now,
And everybody kind of talks like this, and they don't really have conversations. They declare things.
A lot of
I will
declarations.
do this, and you will do that. Right?
That's the Norse way.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
I'm curious. Have you seen?
It could be very extremely authentic. I mean, I didn't do a lot of research on Nordic life before I went to the film, nor after. But I just didn't care about the story. I didn't care about the characters. I had an appreciation for the filmmaking, as I've already said. I found a lot of the things relatively laughable, to be honest. You saw Willem Dafoe there. He plays some sort of a jester.
He's the jester.
He's the jester. And what was that all about?
So
There's
okay,
like a
specifically,
spiritualistic.
I'll answer your question.
Okay.
So Willem Dafoe, who's kind of the muse for Robert Eggers, he was the star of The Lighthouse, one of only 2 people in The Lighthouse. He loves having Willem Dafoe just give dialogue, just spew dialogue.
Sure.
He was supposed to have a big role in this film. COVID, though, caused that to not happen. He was supposed to have a much bigger role, but if you notice, he was basically in a room by himself in his shots because he wasn't able to be on set.
It was just his face
He was
surrounded
supposed
by
to have
darkness.
a much bigger role, but because of COVID shutdowns, he was not able to make it on set.
Did he have COVID?
I don't know that, but I know that his role was basically cut to him filming.
'Cause there were other
looking like he was filming at home in his closet, and then that's just one scene.
Because there were scenes in this movie that had more than one actor on the set.
Yeah, no. I'm speaking specifically for him.
Scenes, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he was supposed to have a bigger role in the film.
This is what I read. Yes. I enjoy. I think Robert Eggers is a great filmmaker. I don't know if you saw either of his previous 2 films, Lighthouse or The Witch. Both great. He loves dealing with spirituality, mysticism, religion. Those are all themes throughout all of his movies.
Yes.
He loves the poetry and the riddles of ancient languages. He uses all of those in his films. I felt like I could feel the grime. I could smell the smells because of the cinematography in this movie.
It's a dark-looking movie.
Absolutely.
Everything's very dirty.
And
There's a lot of blood.
I enjoy all that. Couple things. I thought Nicole Kidman is miscast in this movie. I didn't care for Nicole Kidman in this movie as the Queen. Just thought she was. Could have been somebody else that would have been way better.
She had one big scene with her son. Did you like that scene?
It was uncomfortable.
Okay.
No, I didn't care for her.
Okay.
I was like pinned down in my seat watching the movie just because of the visual specter and watching Skarsgard and all Anya Taylor-Joy and all these things are being thrown at you. I was enjoying that, but as I walked out, I realized nothing there really hung with me.
Right.
And that's different than any other movie that Eggers had. And that's why I had such a high anticipation level for it. Is because those movies are usually movies that I chew over for days afterwards. And this one I felt like, because it was kind of a simplistic revenge tale. We've seen this revenge tale many times in films. And yeah, I mean, I thought visually it was great, but it didn't leave me wanting more.
I found myself my mind kind of wandering, and I was making connections between this film and Monty Python on the Holy Grail.
Sure.
Natural
comparison.
You mentioned the shaman and the sorceress characters, like Tim the Enchanter in that film, and the Gates of Hell and the Gorge of Eternal Peril. I was making those connections.
We get to the
and
gates.
Even the title cards reminded me of the titles for.
We get to the Gates of Hell at the end, and I'm thinking Star Wars Episode 3, and I'm waiting for someone to say, "I've got the high ground now." Did not happen.
Yeah.
But anyways, all right, let's get to the scores though.
Plus, I mean, I did mention the sound. I found some of the dialogue in the movie just frankly hard to understand. This would have been a movie where I would have put the captions on if I was at home.
What? Sure.
Okay.
Well,
just want to throw
you
that
don't
in.
speak fluent Norse.
I don't. No.
No. All right.
I barely speak fluent English.
What does the Northman get from Jeff Robbins?
I believe I gave the Northmen 2.5 stars.
Oh, wow. All right.
All right.
I give the Northman 4 stars.
You said it didn't hang with you.
It didn't hang with me. That's why it's not a 5. But it's visually beautiful movie.
Yeah.
Sounds great. smelling the smells, feeling the feels. But it didn't get there to get those extra.
Did you like Ethan Hawke?
I love Ethan Hawke.
Okay.
I love Ethan Hawke. Yeah. Everyone in this movie except for Nicole Kidman, I was great with. So, anyways. All right, moving on. What's the next movie we have on the marquee?
Well, Mr. Rabbit, we are going to discuss a little film called The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Do I have that title correct?
You got it.
Thank God. All right, this movie comes from director Tom Gormican. I hope I have that correct. With a screenplay by Gormican and Kevin Eaton. It stars Nicolas Cage, who, in Curb Your Enthusiasm type parlance, plays a heightened version of himself. Here, Cage is a struggling actor. Well, so that part is pretty much spot on.
His name is also Nic Cage.
Yes. Who is frustrated by being continually passed over for major film roles and decides to reconnect with his ex-wife Olivia, played by Sharon Horgan, and his daughter Addie, played by Lily Sheen, and he decides to retire from acting. His agent, played by Neil Patrick Harris, who we just saw there and we're seeing there again, talks him into accepting an offer of $1 million, not a lot of money in Nic Cage's world, to attend a birthday party in Spain hosted by rich superfan Javi, played by Pedro Pascal, who we just saw in the horrible Netflix film The Bubble. Well,
He was, yeah.
he was in that, yeah. I did my research.
Better known as the Mandalorian.
While initially resistant to the assignment, it doesn't take long for Nick and Javi to become bros. But hold up, Jameson, there's a problem. Turns out Javi is being targeted by CIA agents, played by Tiffany Haddish and Ike Barinholtz, under suspicion of having built his wealth through arms dealing. Nick is suddenly caught up in a real-life scenario straight out of the type of movies he's been passed over for, and he's conflicted between helping the CIA and being a hero and betraying his new best friend, Javi. Meanwhile, Javi brings Nick's ex-wife Olivia and his daughter Addie to Spain to help Nick repair his relationship with them, and of course, they get caught up in the international intrigue as well. Now, I thoroughly enjoyed this movie. I thought it was a lot of fun to see Nicolas Cage, not necessarily one of my favorite actors, poking fun at himself and his legacy, and I thought the chemistry between him and Pedro Pascal was fantastic. I really bought into the idea that these two could become besties in such a short amount of time, and you really believe the conflict that Cage has between helping his country and betraying his friend. You got any thoughts on this?
Yeah, there's one other character that you didn't mention that was odd, and that was the character of Nicky, the young Nicolas Cage character that is basically the Nic Cage ego that only he can see, and is a CGI'd version of Nic Cage at a young age.
So, Mara Trusty, our wonderful director, if you could pull up that other clip that I gave you, I wanted to show something since Jameson mentioned. So I read that that character of Nic Cage, Nicky, is straight out of this appearance on a British talk show
that
we're
looks
seeing right
like
here.
the Nicky that we see.
He cartwheels on stage. He throws money at the audience. He's at the height of his powers right there.
That he is.
Yeah, so that's from 1990, I believe. I believe he was promoting The Wild at Heart.
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Yeah, so I didn't particularly care for that gimmick.
And that's exactly what I was going to say. That was It was off-putting to me.
Yeah.
It was very strange. Luckily, Nicky only showed up a few times. It was
Maybe
kind of
2 or 3 times?
3 times, I believe, and then it was discarded for like the second half of the movie, more or less, which was I was great with. I love this movie leads to Nic Cage kind of channeling his most iconic characters throughout here. Really, we delve into characters, roles. We revisit Leaving Las Vegas. We revisit Face Off, a lot of things. Yeah. And we see how the character of Nic Cage really comes to life when he thinks a camera is on him. No matter how drugged he is or what may have happened to him, he thinks the camera's on him. He's like, I got to get up for this. I'm Nic Cage.
Right.
I love it. I enjoyed this. The bond that Nick and Javi had over their love of films. The fact of these guys really straining over what's my third favorite movie of all time. I understand that. I've had that conversation.
Sure, of course,
so I enjoyed their chemistry. I thought it was like a really good buddy comedy when these two were together on the screen.
They were great together.
And Pedro Pascal, man, he really played like vulnerable and serious really well in this movie too. It wasn't just slapsticky. The story surrounding the CIA operatives and getting him, it was like the most basic story to get into the action part of this film because I didn't care really about Tiffany Haddish and Ike Barinholtz. It felt like it was kind of just throwaway to get to where we needed to go.
Well, they were kind of the bickering CIA agents.
Yeah.
But I thought it was fun because, at first they're all hyped up. Oh, it's Nic Cage.
Yeah.
Oh, have you seen The Croods too? No, I haven't seen.
I'm a 45-year-old man.
Why would I see The Croods too?
I've seen Face Off.
And then slowly as they realize that he's not necessarily the big screen persona, he's just kind of a bumbling idiot as he's trying to solve this. Do their carry out their assignments that they've given him. I mean, I thought that was fun. I enjoyed that.
I love that the meta part of this movie. I love that Nic Cage, real life Nic Cage, didn't half-ass this. He's the perfect actor for this kind of role.
Yeah.
And he's not running from who he is. He's accepting it. He's pointing fingers at his flaws, but he's a great actor. He's legitimate. I mean, the guy's won an Academy Award. He's a great actor. And I love that his impulsiveness in his life, his impulsiveness in his career is something that I've appreciated.
Yeah.
He's often mocked for it, but he does his career on his own terms. And a lot of times that leads to horrible decisions and direct to red box movies. But I love that he's not afraid of it.
Yeah.
And I thought it was great in this. I do think that you need to be a big Nic Cage fan to truly appreciate everything in this movie.
Well, I mean, there's references to, like you said, I mean, there's references to The Rock, there's references to Gone in 60 Seconds. I think, there's not a lot of references to Left Behind or some of his smaller.
Well, yeah.
So I don't think you need to be that well versed in his filmography to appreciate it.
I'm curious now. Do you think is this going to lead to a resurgence for Nic Cage in terms of feeling important again? Because he's kind of been, a joke in Hollywood for a little while to a lot of people.
Right.
With his I'll make whatever movie you want. The Andy Samberg impression of him, is it a movie? That's all I need, do you think this is, with this and then last year with Pig, which I thought he should have gotten nominated for.
Right.
Is this going to lead to all of a sudden Nic Cage being the critically acclaimed actor again, you think?
It could, but I don't know if he really cares about that, if he really wants that.
That's the best part, though.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't think he cares.
I don't think he cares. No, I was really pleased. I thought it was a lot of fun that he had so much, was able to kind of laugh at himself and not be serious with his persona. I really thought it was a good time. I did think that the movie, a movie like this, I think inevitably in the last act it sort of becomes what it's kind of parodying, and the plot kind of takes over, and so that I was a little disappointed in that. But by then, the movie had built up so much goodwill that I was okay with it.
It was funnier than I thought it was going to be. I had a really good. This is one of the better times I've had.
I enjoyed it
watching a movie in recent times. It lived up to expectations and hype.
There you go. I concur.
Oh well, we'll see how much you concur when we go to the tote board. Jeff Robbins, what do you give this movie?
Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent gets a massive 4 stars from me.
Nice. Well, I concur with your score. I also gave it 4 stars.
Look at that.
It's an enjoyable, and I know I just said that you should be a big fan, but I think there's something here for everyone. It's just a fun romp action movie, and the chemistry with Pedro Pascal and Nicolas Cage is something I wasn't expecting. It's a fun time. So.
And there's some LSD.
There is.
Yeah, something for everybody.
Something for everyone. All right, let's get to our final film we have on the marquee this week, and it is the newest animated film from director Pierre Perifal. It is called The Bad Guys. This is a film that focuses on the bad guys in children's stories. They are a tight unit who specializes in heists. You've got a big bad wolf. You got a scary snake. You got a tarantula. You got a shark. You got a piranha. I mean, we have it all here. All the animals that you should be terrified of, with a really fun voice cast behind all of it. Everyone in this team has their role when they go out on their bank heists, and they're very good at it. Wolf, the leader, who's voiced by Sam Rockwell, has a plan for his gang to steal a prestigious award. Careful now.
Excuse me.
That's being handed out by the governor. It's an award. It's an award for do-gooder of the year, and it's going to a guinea pig who has done much good to the public. This guinea pig, Professor Marmalade, voiced by Richard Ayoade. Oh boy. But then, the team goes out to steal this prestigious do-gooder award, and the heist goes awry, and the gang is facing jail time. And that is when it's this philanthropic guinea pig's turn to suggest that he can take them in, help them turn their lives around, discover what it's like to be good. And we have to figure out, is this second chance is going to lead to a change of heart for these guys, or will it provide an opportunity to finish the job and get away scot-free? I thought it was a fun animated film. I love the voice cast. Mark Maron as the snake, Awkwafina as the tarantula. I really enjoyed. And then you also have Zazie Beetz as the governor, Diane Foxington. There she is, right there on cue, walking in. Using villainous characters to show an arc of embracing decency. And
was that James Corden as the guinea pig?
no, it was not. That was Richard Ayoade.
Okay.
Yes. Oh, it would have been a much different movie if it was James Corden. You can stay right off my screen, sir. I enjoy this movie. You have several characters that embrace being bad, and they delight in it. Like Snake specifically, just loves being bad. Snake does not want to be decent. Snake doesn't want to be looked at in the good light. He's very happy just being who he is. So I don't know. I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed this movie. I brought my 9-year-old daughter to it.
Yeah.
She gave it 10 stars. For
Well,
what that's worth.
that's all that matters, then, really.
It really
She
is.
enjoyed it.
She enjoyed it. You saw The Bad Guys?
I did see The Bad Guys by myself,
got
which
some-
was a little weird. but
Nothing
yeah.
creepy about that?
No, nothing creepy about that at all.
You had some thoughts on this?
Yeah. So I'm glad to hear your daughter enjoyed it, because ultimately that what your daughter thought about it probably means more than what I thought about it. But I'm going to be Captain Obvious here and say that, to me, the best children's films or the best animated films appeal to both kids and adults.
Mm-hmm. Sure.
And one of the ways that a children's film or an animated film can do that is by not insulting the intelligence of the targeted kid audience, by not talking down to them.
Okay.
I found this movie guilty of insulting me. And
Really?
My intelligence.
How so?
Let me tell you.
All right.
So you've got the crew, you've got the bad guys, right?
Yes.
You went
Titular
over.
bad guys.
You went over all of them. You've got I don't need to repeat them. So they're like the top criminal gang in Los Angeles.
Yes.
Yeah, they're do-badders.
They're like De Niro's gang in Heat.
Everybody's on the lookout for them. Everybody's looking for them. We got to get all those bad guys. We got to get them.
Right.
So they go into this gala, or gala if you prefer,
I don't.
and they're the only animals there apart from the mayor, which I couldn't really wrap my head around the fact that they're the only animals in the
Humans
film.
mixed with animals, does that disturb you?
It doesn't disturb me, but the ratio is off.
Does a shark dressed in drag disturb you?
There were no other animals other than the bad guys. So my point here is that everybody's looking for these bad guys, and they're at this gala, and the wolf's got a pair of sunglasses and a mustache. Nobody can figure out that's the guy that we need to capture.
Sure.
The
Until said mustache goes a little awry, and then what?
The snake's got like a hat on. Nobody can figure out that that's the snake.
Yeah, just put a Bermuda shirt on. We never know. That's not a snake.
Yeah. So nobody's gonna notice that. There's also a part near the end where the wolf is driving his car. This is me driving a car, and there's like a sea of guinea pigs.
Yes.
And he's like driving right over these guinea pigs, but apparently none of them get killed. You can just drive over guinea pigs. Am I overthinking this?
Have you seen Bad Boys 2? Because in that movie, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence drive through a shanty town in Jamaica with a car, and apparently no one's killed, and they run over 60 houses.
But there are literally a sea of guinea pigs that they're running over.
Yeah, they're delicious, I hear.
And there's a lot of, I've seen enough movies, and I haven't seen as many movies as you have, but, I don't need to see a lot more car chases in movies, and I really don't care about animated car chases.
I was going to say, though, you don't get a lot of animated car chases, though.
There's a lot of it in this movie, and it's just
Yeah.
boring.
Well, because a lot of this is an homage to heist films. Lots of little nods to various heist films.
Sure.
Because at its heart is kind of what this is with the, I like...
Basically the same. They do the same heist twice. They try to
Yes.
get this golden dolphin or whatever it is.
Right.
That I found very repetitive. There's a scene where the piranha sings a song that, to me, was totally unnecessary. And I just didn't think the movie was interesting, and there's this meteorite that I don't even know if he talked about. But,
No, I didn't.
I mean, what is? All I can tell is it turns guinea pigs into zombies.
Basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
pretty much it. It turns them into lemmings, I think.
okay? I didn't laugh at all in this movie. I didn't laugh a single time.
That's where we kind of...
There's if you love animals farting, I guess there's a couple fart jokes. You like animals farting?
Big fan.
Okay.
Big fan.
I did I did my research, and I realized that the guy who wrote this movie, his last movie where he was writer and director on was Holmes and Watson.
Oof.
So I think that's
Guys,
why
look out.
that's why he's been demoted to
an all-time
to
bad
cartoon.
movie.
So
See, I depart with you on. I had fun with it. I enjoyed it. I thought the animation was really well done. I enjoyed the characters. I especially like ever since I was a kid, I've been a fan of movies where the bad guys are the center of the film. That's why I think as a kid I loved Empire Strikes Back so much. Bad guys win. So I enjoy. I think it's something different than what we normally see in animated movies, where the bad guy is the bad guy. I thought that
these weren't real bad guys. They weren't bad. I mean, 20 minutes into it, he's rescuing a cat out of a tree.
Everyone has shades in this movie of good and bad. Who's really good? In this movie, who's really good and who's really bad? Everyone has shades of it. So I felt like I appreciated the fact that it wasn't just cut and dry, good guy, bad guy, white hat, black hat, like it is in most animated movies, kids' movies, that this one, everyone had a little shade of being good and bad. And I kind of dug that. And, it's always fun when the kids are in there enjoying it.
I'm glad your daughter enjoyed it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, all right, let's show our differing scores. What did you give the bad guys?
I thought Jameson the Bad Guys was a bad time at the movies, and I gave it 1.5 stars.
All right, I'm on the other end of that. I thought the bad guys had a great redemption in the end, and I ended up giving it 3.5 stars. I think that if you have a child who wants to see a movie, this is a good one to take them to, because I enjoyed it. Let's take a look ahead, sir. What is coming out the weekend of May the 6th? We have a couple of films. The one in the box office is the big film of the week. It is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. Marvel returns to the big screen yet again to continue their story and really branch off from everything that we've seen in the Disney Plus series and in Spider-Man No Way Home. Doctor Strange is here, and he's about to introduce a whole bunch of madness in that crazy multiverse.
Is he a bad guy?
He might be. Who knows? Everyone has shades.
Okay.
There's good guys and bad guys. And then we also have streaming. We have a film called Along for the Ride, which two young teenagers discover that neither one of them can sleep at night. They decide to go out and hit the town and spend some time bonding while the rest of the town is sleeping. That is your streaming spotlight for the week, and that's about it.
Where is that?
That, I believe, is over on the Netflix.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. So Doctor Strange is going to eat up everything that weekend, that's for sure. So those are the films of May the 6th. Before we go any further, we want to thank our sponsors, Marcus Theaters, The Palace here in Sun Prairie. The Palace is where I sat down to watch all the films that we discussed today. I don't know about you.
Yeah, and I saw Tom there.
You saw Tom Reichel?
Yeah.
I have not seen Tom in quite a while.
Good guy, Tom. He's
good-
not a bad guy.
Nah.
He's a good guy.
Way to get that out there. I haven't seen Tom in forever. We might have to make another appearance out there one of these days.
I think
haven't
that's
done a
great.
show from the theater in quite a while.
It's a great idea.
Yeah. So, anyways, we love the Palace. Next week, sir, I'm going to be talking about some great movies like Liam Neeson's Memory. Whew. I also have a film we're going to discuss called Emily the Criminal, starring Aubrey Plaza. Also a film called The Survivor, and who knows what else, and who knows who will be sitting next to me. You have to tune in next week to find out who my co-pilot is. Mr. Robbins, thank you once again for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
I love that we didn't agree on everything. I'm glad that you went and saw the movies.
Yeah. I always see the movies. I don't bail out on you. I take this very seriously.
I know you do.
I never know which one you're going to submit for an award, so.
Ah, that's right.
Yeah,
This year, this might be the one.
There you go.
Who knows? All right. You can find Jeff Robbins just wandering around the media center anytime. Come on in. Say hi to him. Tell him you really appreciate his opinions on this show. I think he would love that. All right. Next
They
week.
do not reflect the opinions of the elected officials.
You're right. Let's run the disclaimer again. All right. Until next week, I'm Jameson.
Hey, I'm Jeff.
And thank you for watching.